I worked as a journalist and war correspondent. I would get a call, I'd fly off to wherever the assignment was. I spent 6 months in Iraq, 5 trips to Afghanistan. I got COVID with my partner Claire in December 2020, and that quickly became long COVID, and it's left both of us permanently disabled, and our life now is so very different to what either of us ever imagined it would be. Claire and I both tested positive for COVID on January the 4th, 2021. And for about 3 weeks, we were desperately unwell. We had something like 50 or 60 symptoms: breathlessness, fatigue, loss of taste and smell, nausea, cognitive problems. We were bedbound. There were a couple of nights we said goodnight and didn't think we were going to wake up in the morning because we were both so short of breath and struggling. Clopidogrel, naproxen. These are just the pills that I help Claire to prepare, that she takes every morning. Metformin, which is for the diabetes that she was left with as a result of long COVID. I'm on sertraline, which is an antidepressant, amitriptyline, which is a painkiller, and all of these are a result of long COVID. It's a mammoth undertaking. I mean, especially for Claire's, you know, it's very taxing. It's something that we both struggle with. You can feel reasonably okay. We'll potter about the house. We're very limited in what we can do. If you over-exert yourself, the crash can come anywhere between a couple of hours or a few days or a week later. You cannot deal with any stimuli at all. Everything's too overwhelming. The fatigue renders you, it's like an iron curtain coming down. How are you feeling? Wiped out. It's all right, love.
Sorry.
Do you want a hand? Both of us have disengaged, certainly with our GPs, because we've both been gaslit by clinicians who have told us, oh, there's nothing wrong with you, it's all in your head, or no, you're mad, you need an urgent psychiatric referral. That is desperately unhelpful, and it's part of the increasing number of people who think that there's no such thing as COVID, that it's all some sort of hoax. And there's 2 million of us in the UK with long COVID who are evidence that there is far more to it than people realise. I hadn't smoked for 35 years. I know it's not doing me any good, but 6 months ago I was actively suicidal. And I remember speaking to my therapist about smoking, and she said, you know the risks. Suicide would have killed you outright, and if it helps you, sod it. For Claire's birthday, we'd watched a film on Amazon called The Map of Tiny Perfect Things, and she said, curate an album for me on our phones called The Map of Tiny Perfect Things. Photos I've shot over the years that have a particular meaning. Some new houses in Canewdon. Rainbow on the worktop. I don't think anybody is ever ready to accept themselves as disabled. So much of your identity is tied up with the work that you do. Whereas now, I set my sights a lot smaller. I set them a lot closer to home. We take great pleasure in the small things. And I've made peace. I think I've come to terms with it.